This is a book review of Conan le Cimmerien, The House of the Three Bandits. Now this is the French version and it's by Patrice Lunet and Paolo Martinello. My apologies if I said their name wrong. And it's about 70 pages. It's quite a thin book, but however it is quite a stunning book all the same. Now this tells the story of the rogues in the house. This is R.E. Howard's story back from 1934, Weird Tales. And French version, so from Glenat. They brought out loads of other ones as well. So they're really, really good series. Now Conan varies quite a lot in the series. So you've got certain different changes in Conan, but this is very dramatic and the artwork is superb throughout this. So I'm just going to go through this in a few minutes, but before I do that, there will hopefully be an American version at some point. I assume there may be, because Blaze are bringing out the American versions, and hopefully at some point this one will be done. However, of course, there are some versions. Of course, the original R.E. Howard in Weird Tales, back from 1934. But you've got this one now. I'm just going to now probably struggle to find it, but I will quickly attempt to find it in this book. Ah, here it is, number 11. This is Rogues in the House. Now, this is Roy Thomas' story. Now, it's not as violent, nor is this. The French version is very violent. Lots and lots. This sort of thing was very tame compared with. You got the also even weirder Talons of Thack on the front there, and Barry. I love this one. Barry Windsor Smith, of course, classic story. And what's the story about? Well, you got basically three rogues. You got each have got their own sort of things that they're doing. They're plotting against the king. They're plotting to get something else, and so on and so on. Conan is of course a rogue as well. So there's three rogues, three bandits. But it's really well done, and this story was great. And Barry Windsor Smith, beautiful artwork. So you can also get the original comic, also you can get the omnibus, and also Epic Collections recently come out with that story. I don't think it was ever in Savage Sword or anything. I don't think they ever did that. And also recently, of course, you've got the Conan Chronicles. Now these are the Dark Horse stories. This is Return to Cimmeria, and this is in here. Now this one is very, very dark. But it's also not inked. It's done in a more painted style. So you've got this guy Nabon Bonded. I'm hopeless with saying names. I have to say, if I don't know them, I can make an approximate stab at it. But again, when you're reading it, you don't need to have to worry about, particularly if they've got some weird name. So I must admit, I admit complete failure for saying his name. However, he's a priest. On to this, and I love that one. The Conan Chronicles one, all of the books of Conan Chronicles have been superb from Marvel Epic, and of course the original Dark Horse ones as well. But they're all out of print generally now, so obviously the Conan Chronicles, it's much easier to get those. So this one, absolutely glorious. And of course you can see the difference. They're American comic books, obviously slightly smaller, and you've got that. Now there's also a black and white version, which I think is slightly bigger than this. I mean, the black and white, I'm certain, is superb. But not always, colour doesn't always add to the story. So, but I think you get that more detail when you get the black and white one. But they're more expensive, so I haven't bought them. Special editions. So obviously, Ari have. I think in this story especially, I love their use of the city. The city is dramatic, very brilliant perspective, and also just the whole way, all the temples and the various houses and things. Again, it's weird. It's called The House of the Three Bandits. It's the most unusual title. I don't know why they didn't go for the rogues. So, but even that's a bit unusual as well. Rogues in the house. But it's very dramatic. Lots and lots of violence. If you don't want violence, certainly do not come to this book because it is quite violent. There's a lot. Also, there's a lot. Of course, the French food and drink, lots of scenes of taverns, beautifully drawn. You've always got lots of, and also the panels as well. Massive amount. And we've got this panel here. I'm just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And quite a few pages got 9. Some got probably more than that. And they've also got lots of spreads across, but also mixed with lots of panels just popped all over it in a very nicely constructed thing, not confusing at all. So easy to flow, to read what's happening in the story. And Conan doesn't appear all the way through. It concentrates on some of the other characters as well. So we've got a bit of background to a variety of characters. And again, Conan in a tavern. And lots of violent scenes. I mean, really, really violent. This one has got lots of use of browns, dark sort of, but it's not a dark book in terms of not like the Dark Horse one, which I found was very dark. This is still dark, like with the browns and the purples, but it's still, and the dark blues. Just look at that, just beautiful, beautiful artwork. And Conan, of course, as ever, locked away. He's got problems, but you know that's never going to last with Conan. Conan will always sort it. And this is some pretty, I mean, he really, really violent scenes. It's, let's say, if you certainly come to it, but also some beautiful scenes of the cities. Now, this is the thing I love about this book. You could probably bring out a book of Conan books with just all these beautiful cityscapes or buildings that, gosh, I mean, really stunning, just absolutely awesome. That's why I love the French books, when they do like ones about Rome or something. Some of the books are just glorious. So the storyline, of course, you've got, don't want to spoil the story, but I'm certain probably most people have read the original or have read the Conan book before, but it's still, there's some twists and turns in this, but the colours are dramatic as well. And the action is really, really dramatic, really high impact. It's absolutely stunning. Actually, the weird thing is the timing about some of this. Now, I don't know how this relates to the R.E. Howard book, whether it's a direct sort of, because in the other ones, some of the earlier ones, the one I mentioned, it actually shows the story, some of the scenes a bit earlier. So it's slightly moved around a bit. I don't know the order, how they've done it, whether it's same or not. That doesn't matter, as long as the story is told well, I think. I have no problem. I don't expect it to be an exact recreation of the R.E. Howard. That would be, you've got the R.E. Howard. You can imagine what the R.E. Howard story is, so you don't need it. But again, you've got the priest as well, and the brilliance in this house, this gloomy house that's got all this ornate, all the structure, all his, obviously his library and that sort of thing. Just really stunning. Colours are great. I just think just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful book. And it's, yeah, I think this is the best version so far. I think this is just an absolutely superb version. And the fight scenes, and I'm not going to say, obviously you can tell, I'm not going to say, but the fight scene in this character is just absolutely awesome. And not only is it awesome, it's just done in such a way, silent, just absolute silent. No, not spoiled by any, it's just beautiful artwork, violent, but beautiful artwork, just flowing all the way from panel to panel to panel. And it's just excellent. I just love it anyway. Maybe other people might think, oh, no, not for me, but I think this is a really, really beautiful, beautiful version of this book, this story. And again, just the cities again, a brilliant one with the, yeah, loved it all the way through. Now, to go to the back, it's got a little bit of, at the end, a bit of description about it, the House of the Three Bandits. And obviously, it's just April. Actually, it's got the Conan book. Now, I never got that one. I've got, we had a different version in the UK, so you can see the Conan book. I wish I'd put a bigger exact picture of that one. Would have been nice. And also the Weird Tales. Now, this is 1934. Weirdly, it didn't actually have R.E. Howard on the front. It was the red, and I can't read, hard to read, red knife of something. The writing's very hard to read. And R.E. Howard is like 1, 2, 3, fifth in the list. I mean, that's just so weird. You'd think with one of the classic stories like that it would be really big. This is like a classic story. No, we're going to put it, the fifth name in that list. 25 cents book. And then you've got at the back, you've got some really dramatic homages. And there's some that are from the book. Actually, saying that, there is actually a lovely bit with one of the women in here. But there's a character you think, I know who that character is. Slightly, But that's just reminding me. And then you also got here a beautiful bit of black and white pencil drawing. Absolutely awesome. I mean, that is just superb. I mean, just there. Let me show you the black and white. I mean, that's a reason to go and get the special edition. Now, I would love to see the special edition, a special edition, if they had the one with the pencil drawings, because I think that pencil drawing looks absolutely amazing, and a big recommendation for the special edition. Some other brilliant artwork as well. Unfortunately, because it doesn't actually, in some of them, it doesn't even, I can't even see a name, who the artist is, and I don't know if it puts the name anywhere else, but some beautifully drawn. I love the cat. The cat is great. There's a couple of cat scenes in this that are really, really beautiful. And then you've got the books, advertising the books here, because you've got the books at the back. So there's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sneeze. My apologies. Now, this is really, really good set of books. I've got about 4 of these now, and I've enjoyed every one of them. So I'm looking forward to buying all the others at some point. And absolutely brilliant series from Glenat. And hopefully they continue to bring out more of these volumes, because I think these books are just superb. And you've got a map at the back. Very useful map of the area. So this is a brilliant, absolutely first-rate book. So Conan le Cimmerien, Roads in the House, but this time the Maisons. I'm not going to say French. I'm not going to completely embarrass myself by saying the French. But brilliant book, all the same.